Hello, my name is Anneta, and I would like to share with you a little project based on Book of the Month, Mr. Wolfe's Pancakes. As my colleagues already mentioned, in Mr. Wolfe's Pancakes we have many references to nursery rhymes, fairy tales. So I also started with the classic, but I started with the story of the Little Red Hen. And after reading the story to children, I tried to explain that in the story we have certain elements that always remain the same. So there is the main character, there is the who, there is the setting where the story took place, and the character started to prepare something. That there was a kind of problem. So what the what of the story, and then there were some friends as a background of the whole story, and then there is a solution, the ending to the story. After that, I exposed different versions of the Little Red Hen, and in these different variations, children had to walk around the classroom, approaching different tables, like different stations, let's say, and they had to find out in every book through scanning it very quickly. It wasn't really reading the story, it was more like scanning the story, finding the who, the where, the what, and the solution. So sometimes it was a pig, sometimes it was a hen, sometimes it was a rooster, sometimes it was chicken. They look at different friends that the main character had, and different tasks that the main character decided to perform. So it would be bread, it would be pizza, it would be a cake, it would be soup. And the ending varied because sometimes the main character decided to punish the false friends by not sharing the result of the efforts, or sometimes it would be forgiving them, inviting for cooperation and sharing the cake, the pizza, or bread. After that, I show children that we can juggle all the elements and we can create our own stories. And I have a number of editions of the story of Mr. Wolfe's Pancakes, because it's one of my favorite books. So in the edition of 1999, at the back of the book, there is a lovely picture. So I enlarged it a bit, and I put students in groups of 2, and on every table I put a picture. And I asked them to look at the picture and create a story, remembering the different elements of the story. So it's going to be a story based on the Little Red Hen, but this is what they've got. And the children aged 9, 10, grade 4 in our school, wrote different stories. I would like to share some of the stories with you. The first story I would like to share with you is called Mr. Wolfe Pancakes, and that was the one that the only one that actually got it all right. Once upon a time there was Mr. Wolfe who lived in a city. He lived in a flat. He had 3 friends, dog, cat, and squirrel. One day he decided to make pancakes, but he didn't know how to do it. So he asked his friends for help. Unfortunately, his friends were very busy and didn't want to help him. He went to the shop, and the first thing he wanted to buy was a cookbook, but it was Sunday. The next day was Monday, and Mr. Wolfe went to the bookshop again. He was very disappointed when he saw the prices. The cookbooks were very expensive. He had to spend all the money he had. When he came back home, he made a big pile of pancakes and ate them all by himself. He didn't invite his friends. No work, no pancakes. That was by Antek and Mati. Another story is Mr. Wolfe's Pizza. Once upon a time, there was Mr. Wolfe who lived in the country. He lived in a big house. He had 3 friends, dog, mouse, and cat. One day he decided to make pizza. First, he needed to buy some flour, pepperoni, and olives. So he went to the village shop. But there was a problem. He didn't know how to make pizza, so he asked his friends. They both said they don't know it and are not interested in cooking. Then he met a mouse who said she knows how to do it. Together they made a wonderful pizza. It smelled delicious. Mr. Wolfe and Mouse shared it happily. That was by Igor and Jurek. Another story was The Old Dog's Problem. Once upon a time, there was an old dog who lived in a city. He lived with a family. He had one friend, a crow. One day he decided to go for a ride to the country. He went to the car park. He sat in his car, and the car didn't have any fuel. He had a problem, so he went to see his friend and asked for help. The crow agreed, and together they pushed Dog's car to the petrol station. After that, they went to the country together. They walked and ran and played. It was so good. They were very happy. It is so wonderful to have a friend. That was by Jurek. He worked alone. And another individual project by Marta, The Ginger Fox. Once upon a time, there was Ginger Fox who lived in the country. He lived alone, and he didn't have any friends. One day he wanted to cook himself something delicious, so he decided to go to the shop. But there was a problem. He didn't know how to get to the city. He had to break his piggy bank to get some money, and off he went. He came to a nearby village and started to ask for help. He asked a cat, a dog, and a rabbit, but no one wanted to help. Finally, he met a little mouse. "I will help you," she said, and she did. From that day on, they were best friends, and they were very, very happy. As you see, we created a kind of class book where we could, where we put all the stories together, and we could read them and share them. One more advice for those who would decide to try it out, try the book and invite Mr. Wolfe into your classroom. I would like to recommend the edition from 2008. It's the edition with the CD. And on the CD, you will find a very nice recording, but also a song and some activities that you can perform with your students. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, and goodbye.